My name is Han, and I am not a terrorist. Hey everybody, so I saw My Name is Khan today, and with my dad. 2.5 hours. It's a pretty long movie, but I thought it was really good. I did like it a lot. The pacing of it and the flow of it was really good. It had a very nice, large story arc, which made the 2.5 hours not really feel like 2.5 hours. And if you watch a movie that's over 2 hours and you think to yourself, oh, I didn't know it was that long, then that means that you liked the movie, that it was a good movie because it engaged you the whole time. And if you see a movie that was like an hour and a half, and you're like, man, I thought that was a lot longer, that's not a good movie. So it centers around Khan, who's played by Shah Rukh Khan, who SRK, who has Asperger's syndrome, so he's autistic. And I did not see any moment in his performance that was flawed. I truly believed that that character had Asperger's, and I felt it through the whole movie. He was very consistent in his acting. I was impressed. And there were a couple of moments where I thought, no, a real Asperger's wouldn't act that way. But I was okay with it because of the emotion of the scene that they were trying to portray. So the movie as a whole is a little over the top. Although it has some really great ideas that they're putting forth and subject matters that they're trying to discuss, they do go over the top on a lot of things. Mostly, I think, to just push the story along because they were trying to fit a lot of stories and information into one movie. But I think they pulled it off well. I did not at any time think, oh, that's ridiculous, or shake my head, or just think it was dumb. I was able to go along with the moments that were over the top. And I think part of that is because of Forrest Gump. This had parts of this, not the whole thing, but parts of this had feel of Forrest Gump in that, he's traveling, he's very focused on one thing, and it's usually a very simple thing, but then all of this big stuff happens around him, and everybody gravitates to this guy. In that aspect, there were a lot of over-the-top things that happened, and it's because of the situation. Just Forrest Gump had the same thing. They had a lot of stuff that was way over the top happening to this guy, but it's the drama and the joy of what's going on with that character, so we like it. They talk mainly about 9/11 and how it changed everything. And he said, Khan said something in the movie that really made a lot of sense to me. He said, Westerns have BC and AD, and now they have 9/11. So we have 3 moments in time where things have changed. And yeah, that's true. The world did change after 9/11. One of the things that I had a problem with, and I don't know if you guys can help me figure this out, but they were very heavy on the difference between Hindu and Muslim. Now, from an American's point of view, at least the ignorant ones that cause a lot of hate, they're not going to know the difference. So I'm not going to get into spoilers right now, but there's something that happens, and Muslims, besides 9/11, but Muslims get blamed for it. And part of what they say is, if I wasn't Muslim, if I was Hindu, they wouldn't have done that. And no, I think it would have happened anyway, because the perpetrators, they didn't see religion. They saw color of the skin. I mean, it's not even the correct location in the world for the most part. All of the hate crime out here has, although they spout, go home Muslim and stuff, they're just looking at the color of the skin. They don't know if the person's Muslim or not. They don't really care. I mean, that's the problem you get with ignorant, hateful people, is they don't care. They just want someone to project their hate on. So I really liked the message of the movie. And this isn't much of a spoiler, but very beginning in the movie, Khan, when he was a kid, he heard during the riots between Muslims and Hindus in the 1980s, these Hindu people, like, basically saying all of these people should die because of this. And his mom did something that was perfect. I thought it was a great scene where she draws a stick figure and then a stick figure with a knife and says, who's the good person, who's the bad person? Draws another stick figure, and the one next to him is a stick figure with a lollipop. So which is the good person and which is the bad person? And then she said, which one is Hindi and which one is Muslim? And he didn't know because they're all just stick figures. And I'm like, exactly. You have good people, you have bad people. Doesn't matter what the religion is. Very simple but beautiful little moment. And I thought it set the tone for the rest of the movie very well, especially with Khan's motivations. So all in all, I would suggest seeing the movie. Highly suggest it. I enjoyed it. Like I said, there are some things that are over the top, but you forgive that. It's fine because of what the story is. Now I want to get into some spoilers just to talk about some specific things that I enjoyed in the movie. So if you haven't seen it and you don't want anything spoiled, stop watching this now. Go watch the movie, then come back and start it from here. So I'll give you a second. Spoilers. I like when he was testing the products when he was working with his brother. That scene cracked me up, where he's putting the face masks on and trying all the beauty products and talking to himself and reading the manuals. I thought it was a very beautiful moment. I thought it was great. It made me laugh, made me chuckle. I liked how he was correcting everybody on how to say his name. That it's not Khan, it's Han. He's like, Han. It's Han. Han. So I was doing that during the movie. Han, my name is Han. I also liked a moment where he's trying to meet the president and he's going to go to this dinner. It's a $500 plate dinner. And the lady says, you know, it's $500. And so he pulls out $500 and she says, for Christians. This is for Christians only. And that was very confusing to me. But he says, no, it's for hungry children. He's looking at the flyer. It's for hungry children in Africa. And she says, no, it's for Christians only. And so he says, keep the money. Give it to the non-Christians that are starving in Africa. I was like, yes. I like Mama Jenny from Georgia. She cracked me up. I know I grew up around a lot of people like that back east. And yeah, she reminded me of a lot of some Southern people that I know. Very lovey, very emotional, but she was fun. I liked her a lot. I liked her character. And I really liked when they were having problems in Georgia when the hurricane was coming, that Khan was worried about her, and so he went back and they had this whole big scene of him trying to fix it, because that was one of the things he does in the movie, is he fixes everything. That's how he made some of his money, is he just had a sign that said, can fix almost anything, or will fix almost anything. And I liked that too. Thought it was a good moment. Another very powerful moment in the movie that I really liked was when he was in the mosque and he's praying before he gets to go, or before he's trying to see the president for one of these times. And when he's in there, he hears these Muslims that are doing hate talk, basically getting people inspired to go and do something violent and stupid. And he speaks up and basically says, no, you're lying, you're lying. And they were talking about a specific story that he turned it around and showed them what the story truly meant. And that this guy that is telling you lies is turning it around to make you hate, when in reality the story was the total opposite of that. This guy was just interpreting it wrong. But it was a great moment of him basically just taking his entire argument, pulling it apart, and showing that there's love and faith and not hate. So I liked how he dismantled his argument. So since we're in the spoiler section, he finally does get to meet the president and shake his hand and say, "My name is Han, and I am not a terrorist." It's the epicenter of the whole movie. That's where everybody gets brought together. Music plays. Everybody's happy. And it felt like that part was a little rushed, the way that they got to it. But you kind of had to. I mean, the movie was 2.5 hours already. And it was a simple way of dramatically ending it, just like you would have for a lot of movies. So although it felt a little over the top, it still fit perfectly fine in the movie, and that was okay. So what did you guys think? Did you like the movie? I personally really liked the movie. I thought SRK did a great acting job. Some of the other characters, not so much. Some of the acting was really wooden in there, or the dialogue wasn't as good. But he stole the whole movie. I was on board from the first minute. Even the kids, the two kids that played him as a younger person, they did a really good job too. They must have studied a lot of people with Asperger's before doing the movie. I would assume that he would, but he nailed it. Comment below and let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, and I will see you on the next video.